You know, I was struggling with what to talk about on the video this week. I don't keep up with the news, the video game news, as well as I used to. And, you know, back in my day, before I was a washed-up YouTuber, I would read up on the news. Like, my phone would tell me what the good news is, and I would read into it. Or there was some news around some company that I enjoyed. I would talk about it for about half an hour, cut it down, and release the video the next day. These days, I don't really have that same drive. It's not that I'm not motivated to make these videos, it's just, even though I have this channel to post those kinds of videos on, I still don't feel great about doing those, like, one-off videos. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I know what you're saying, alright?
So I was struggling with figuring out what to talk about, and while I was doing that, I was playing Dyson Sphere Project, a game that's a lot like Factorio, and just, you know, sucks away about 24 hours over the course of 2 days of active playtime. The only time that I haven't been playing it is when I've been sleeping, when I've been talking to my friends, or when I've been working on these videos. I really should be writing my Kingdom Hearts 2 script, but I am playing Dyson Sphere Project instead. So I figured, why not talk about that? Just like the concept of those games that just get inside your head and burrow so deep that you can't help but no-life it. You can't help but degen with that game. Truly, this is a thing that honestly does not happen to me as much as it used to in the past. I used to be able to just sit down, play a game for 12 hours, and that was like a normal day. Being able to do that these days, it's more of a rarity. Hello, cat. Come on. Good girl. Doing that these days is more of a rarity, and I think a lot of people who have aged can say a very similar thing. But when you get that game that just burrows inside your mind and doesn't let go, it's kind of a wonderful thing. In like a slothful kind of way though, you know? Even though it's like a great feeling to be able to get back into that degenerative state where you do nothing but play the same game for just hours on end. I mean, there still is kind of a level of guilt that comes along after the fact. It's like, oh God, I just wasted my entire day playing this game. I should have been writing my script. I should have been going to the house to check it out. I should have been figuring out what to do. That might be a little bit dramatic, but I mean, that's kind of what's going on the inside. I should have been working on my Kingdom Hearts 2 script. I've been procrastinating it like crazy. It's aiming to be very long, and I'm very nervous about it, so I hope you all watch it when it comes out. But regardless, like, right now, Dyson Sphere Project has its grimy little fingers inside my mind. And I was wondering, like, what are the previous games that have done that to me? If you follow the main channel, there's a game called Learning Factory that came out in Steam Early Access not too long ago, and I lost a day to that. I lost a single day to it, and I had this similar feeling. Except now with Dyson Sphere Project, I've lost 2 days. Lose is such a dramatic term. It's not lost if you're having a good time. And, you know, I guess I've found some kind of way to make some kind of content out of it, right? So there was Learning Factory, and before that, I'm trying to remember what that game was. I think maybe before that was Crucible? Like, Crucible was a game that came out of nowhere for me, and the world hated it. I loved it. Me and like 12 other people, we loved that game. And it died too soon. But I kind of want to dig through my library here. Well, what do I have? Like, what have I no-lifed in the past year or two? And even before that. Ooh, Grim Dawn is a good one. I made a video about that. I spent a lot of time on that and decided to make a video. Hades is a game that I spent a lot of time on, but I didn't I didn't no-life it the same way that I did some of the other games. I guess when it came out in early access, I spent like an entire couple days, like an entire weekend on it. I've got about 80 hours, which is higher than I thought I did. And I know a lot of you hear 80 hours and you're like, that's cute. Look, 80 hours is a lot to me in my old, ripe age. La Mulana, I just dove head first into that one for a while. Factorio is one that just constantly keeps bringing me back. I've got only 61 hours? How do I only have 61 hours in Factorio? I feel like I've spent so much longer. And I have how many hours in Dyson Sphere program right now? 22.7? I guess every time that I've played Factorio, it's been in like large bursts like this, but there I think have been 3 solid bursts that I've played it in, and I still only have 61 hours. That is super surprising to me. What about Satisfactory? 10.1 hours? Look, I forced myself to stop playing that one because I wanted to wait until it was complete and out of early access so I could properly no-life it. You gotta no-life things correctly. I dove through the Surge 2. I don't know, the further back I go, the harder it is to remember the games that I properly no-lifed. I wish I could remember every single game that has just stolen my mind like this. And I have to wonder, and I think I know the answer, but how many of you that are watching this right now, how many of you can relate to this phenomenon? Phenomena is the plural. Phenomenon. How many of you can relate to this phenomenon? I know there's some people in my Discord who just are absolutely in love with Guilty Gear Strive. There's people in my Discord who just can't get enough of Borderlands and Monster Hunter. If y'all are watching, you know exactly who I'm talking about. Feel free to call yourselves out in the comments. But I was just wondering, like, what are some of the games that have just grabbed you like this? What are some of the games that, against your better judgment, you've turned on when you had something that you needed to do, and then regretted it about 10 to 14 hours later on the weekend? Yeah. She wants to be fed. I'll feed you afterwards. Okay? I'm talking about video games. They're very important. Come here. What? Say hi to the camera. The camera loves you. After that brief intermission, I feel like it's a good idea to mention the cats that you see in these videos. They're not mine. They are my friend's cats. When I get my own place back, I do plan on getting some cats, and I do plan on giving them a lot of pets, and I do plan on whoring them out for views, because the internet loves cats, and you know, cats are the secret to a growing channel. Am I right? Am I right? Yeah. She agrees. But hey, like I said, leave your no-life level games in the comments below. What has most recently grabbed your attention that way? What continues to grab your attention in that way? Like you dove into it head first when you bought it, and then you walked away for a little bit, and then you came back and spent another 20, 30, 40 hours on it. Just which one is that for you? I'm curious. I'd love to read them. Sorry for the weird, meandering, rambly video that didn't really have much of a point. I do plan on doing some more interesting things with this channel than just this, but every once in a while, this is probably what we're gonna get. Eventually, bad Steam reviews are going to come back to this channel. It's just a matter of finding time to record it, because you know those videos. I shout into these microphones, okay? I shout. And I have a roommate right now whose office is literally next door, and I would rather not disturb him, you know, too much. Plus, there's also like this whole weird thing, like Even though I know he won't care, just part of me is always going to be self-conscious if I know somebody's listening to me when I think I'm alone. You know what I mean? Anyway, this video's gone on far too long for what it is. Hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. I'll see you next week for another Clown Dot video. If you could do me a favor and just no-life that like button down there, I would greatly appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Anyway, this video's gone on far too long for what it is. Hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. See you next week for another Clown Dot video. Is that what I call them? What do I call my subscribers then? I mean, there's always the... Stop rambling! Stop rambling! Stop rambling!